Hey, it's VictoriaLem, your candidate for City Council Ward 1. I wanted to just connect with you, just tell you a little bit. I'm in my car. It's what I normally do. If you have been following me recently or you've been following me for years, you know I take videos from my car. I'm always on the go in my business. I'm all over town all day long, and so that's what I do. And today's update, just letting you know where I am, where I came from, and what I'm trying to do in this city. Look, I've grown up in Tucson all my life, born and raised by some amazing parents on the south side of Tucson. My closest intersection was 12th and Valencia. I ended up buying my home 19 years ago, really close to that intersection as well. I'm 3 minutes drive from my parents because it's important to me to remain close to my parents so that I can help them, and for my kids to be able to access my parents as well. Well, over the years, I know what it was like growing up in that area, and over the years, as I've been raising my children, I've seen a degrade in our community, and I realized that it was time to do something. The people that are in leadership now are a huge component of why the crime has risen, the roads are terrible, our infrastructure, why their businesses are closing and leaving Tucson, or new businesses are not coming. And that is largely on part of the city council and the mayor. We have people that have been on that city council for 4 years, 8 years, 12 years plus. And if we have depended on these people to make the right decisions, to clean up our city, to clean up our crime, empower our police officers, our city attorneys, and our prosecutors to get our streets cleaned up of this crime, the fentanyl use, if we've been empowering them to do this for so long and they're not doing anything about it, or they're purposely working against us to fund some of these encampments, which a lot of you are very shocked to hear when I tell you that the city council has funded $75,000 to help an encampment at Esteban Park in Ward 1 at Speedway in Maine. It got so out of control that they ended up having to pay to have it cleaned up again, and that's coming from your tax dollars. And now they're encouraging that same group to request more funding for, again, that encampment. I know people are shocked when they hear that. Look back at the city council meetings. The reason why you're shocked to hear that is because you're working a normal job. You have a family, you have a life. You're not attending the city council meetings. They're blatant about what they do and the decisions that they make. The roads are not being cleaned up. One city council member said, we have the funds to complete and repair every road in Tucson over the next 10 years. But yet they're asking for more funding. They're asking for percentage increases for your taxes. And you've declined it. You as a community stood up and said no, so that they're asking for that money so that they can repair the roads. They claimed it was to update the roads. So which is it? Do we have the money for the next 10 years or do we not? Or is it both? What are they going to do with that money? Because we're not seeing it now. You drive these roads every single day, whether you bike them, whether you're in your own personal vehicle, whether you're taking the city bus, that's another subject, whether you're taking the city bus, you're on these roads. Whether you need to go down the sidewalk and it's overgrown with weeds, our city infrastructure is in shambles. It's an embarrassment. We have a very difficult time attracting good, high-paying jobs and employers to this city when our city looks like this. We have a very hard time attracting great employees, or keeping employees, potential employees from the U of A, Pima Community College. As soon as graduation hits, the graduation party is at the airport because our students are flying away. We need good leadership in our community. We need people that actually care about our community. I heard one of the city council members say, go ride the bus. You know, the free bus, there's all these people complaining about it. I'm sorry, but I have bus driver friends who tell me all the time that there's so much crime on the bus. They've been spat on, they've been assaulted, they've created plexiglass barriers, and they're still getting spat on by prostitutes. There's open drug use, smoking fentanyl on the bus. I have a son whose special needs. He cannot drive himself. He needs to have transportation. There are many people in our community, our senior citizens, people who choose to ride the bus to and from work, to and from school, running your errands, picking up groceries, going to the doctor. We need a clean, dependable transportation. And the unintended result of making it free has created a crime bus. The people who are stealing, committing crimes, walking right into Walgreens, walking right into Target, walking into these businesses and stealing, this retail theft happening, they're smart enough to start timing the buses now. That's their getaway vehicle. So even if we did have enough staff, enough police staff to come out and respond to a large retail theft situation, a robbery or burglary or whatever it is, they're not walking down the street. They're timing it to when the bus is picking them up, they're walking right out to the corner and getting onto the bus. That is not something that I feel my son is safe getting on. Hearing from all these bus drivers that are out there, are they listening? Are the city council listening to our bus drivers? I'm being told by our bus drivers that one of the reasons why people don't know about how much crime is actually being committed on these buses is because they're not allowed to call 911 right away. If there's an incident on their bus, they need to call their supervisor, not 911. I've spoken to bus drivers who have been reprimanded or counseled when they have called 911. When somebody is non-responsive on the bus, they've obviously passed out due to drug use. They've called 911 right away. There's a fight, there's an assault happening at the bus stop or on the buses, and they are calling 911 and getting reprimanded for it because it needs to go through the supervisors in order to respond. Why? Because if you call 911, they're tracking it. And apparently our city does not, or our city council or our mayor do not want to have that on record. It's an interesting situation, not only on the bus, but at our bus stops. You drive these streets every day. You see what's happening at these bus stops. You see tents or umbrellas to protect them from the wind so that they can smoke their fentanyl there. They're sitting there. I've seen messages from an elderly woman that says she cannot just sit at the bus stop waiting because in the enclosure area, in the covered area, it just smells like fentanyl because people are sitting there smoking and it makes her sick. Yeah, obviously, it's a toxic drug. It's deadly. Why are we subjecting our citizens to that? It's such an unfortunate situation. There is so much we need to do in our community, and I am ready to do that. We need to stop this free bus. There are people that need that bus. There's a low fare, and then there's also programs that help reduce. The people who actually need to have a reduced fare had it. They have it. It's easy to find, but it shouldn't be free. It's created situations where my son cannot ride the bus to work anymore. He has to now take an Uber or a Lyft, $10 one way to his low-paying job, his minimum wage job, which ends up being like, an hour of his time that he spends at work goes directly to his transportation to work. It's such a huge amount of money out of his paycheck every single day to get to and from work. And I'm sure that this is impacting you as well. If you do not feel safe enough to ride our public transportation, will you use it? No. What are their alternatives? So, I would want to put an end to that, to the free buses. We need to empower our city police department. We need to put pressure on our city attorneys and our prosecutors to hold criminals accountable, get them off the street, and the people that need the help, who are willing to get help into drug rehabilitation, into mental health clinics, into some form of therapy, housing, counseling, that all comes with personal responsibility as well. So we need to take back our streets. We need to improve these roads. We can't keep fixing them. They're washboards. Drive down Santa Cruz Lane. Drexel between Valencia and Irvington. It's the street that runs right along the Spectrum Mall. It is a washboard, and so many of our roads are exactly like that. Grant Road. It's a mess. We cannot continue to just make minor repairs and fill potholes. We need the whole roads to be resurfaced. I'm in real estate, and you see all sorts of different homes. You see the homes that maybe need a little paint, a little carpet, and voila, it's ready for the market. That is not our city right now. Our city is needing to be rebuilt from the ground up. The foundation is flawed. We need to fix our roads. We need to fix the crime. We need to fix our economy, our local economy, because we are not business friendly. And with the experience that I have in the commercial real estate market, speaking to business owners all the time, coming in and leaving, we need to do a better job. It's very difficult for businesses to come in and work with the city. The timing for permits, the timing for demo, the timing for certificate of occupancy, it's wild, and it causes people to look elsewhere or to close their doors. And when they close their doors, that means they're not employing people here. That means our economy continues to crumble. That means less taxes and less for our roads, our schools, and our community. So please, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Our election is November 7th. However, this is a mail-in ballot only. So the ballots will be coming out to you October 11th. They'll start being mailed out. If you have not registered, the last day to register to vote is October 10th. You need to submit your registration for voting. If you've moved, if you wanted to change parties, if your last name has changed, make sure that you have an updated record, or that you check to make sure that they have the proper name, proper address for you. Just take a double look, make sure that you are going to be receiving a mail-in ballot, so that you can make a difference. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to take all of us. The reason it's like this is not just because of the people that are sitting in leadership right now, sitting and warming those seats right now. It is not just because of them. It's harsh reality, but this is our fault. We have sat too long and been complacent too long and not been vocal enough to say, this is not okay. We need to go out there and vote, tell them what we think. And if you really like Tucson the way that it is and you think that it's getting better, keep voting them in. But if you are tired, if you're tired of watching the crime increase, we are tired of watching our roads crumble and our businesses close their doors, then I need your vote. There are several people on this ballot that's coming out in October to ready to replace the people that are warming those seats right now. My name is VictoriaLem. I'm running for city council in Ward 1. We have a mayoral candidate, Janet Wittenbraker, who is on the same page as I am. And I've got Ross Kaplowitch, who's in Ward 4, and Ernie in Ward 2. So I encourage you to go look at our websites, see what our platforms are. It's not about an R, a D, an I. It's about the issues that are important to our citizens. I speak to people every single day, and their priorities that are the things that are affecting them every single day is not planting 1 million trees. It's keeping your children safe in their beds, on the streets, wherever we go, getting gas at the gas station, looking over your shoulder, wondering if you're going to be approached or assaulted or whatever. This is not how we live. If you're tired of living like this, you need to vote us in. You do your due diligence, look at the options, and make a decision this November. Thank you.